Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today I have Aletha joining me. Hey, Aletha.
Hi there.
Hey guys, we have a really exciting video on how to manifest a text. We're going to talk about living in the end, everyone as you pushed out, and of course, mental diet, the most important thing of all. And yeah, so guys, just before we dive into it, we are giving away a free course, how to manifest or how to find your blocks to manifest anything fast. The link is in the description below. And so yeah, we were inspired to do this video because one of Aletha's clients got manifested a text from her SP, and and they were so incredibly happy. Guys, it's not always about the huge success, it's the little things in there, it's the little things of them initiating contact or, asking you out on a date or spending time with you. All those things add into the big picture of what a relationship is. So yeah, we're so happy for a client. We're celebrating the success. If you do want any help coaching to find your blocks, Aletha can definitely help you. Link is in the description. So yeah, let's dive into how to manifest a text.
Okay, well, the way that I suggest is that, you decide what it is you want. You want the text. Okay, you got the text by using your intentions and your assumption and your imagination, and you live from that. Like if I want to manifest something into my life that seems impossible, and I'm just like, nope, they're going to call me, they're going to come see me, whatever it might be. And that's what my client did. They persisted in it. The person had said that they wanted to go out, then they canceled it, and the person says, no, I want to keep this date. So she just continued to persist in the fact that we're going to meet tonight. They got a headache. It's going to go away. They're going to feel great. They're going to call me back and they're going to meet tonight. And the thing is staying on top of that, but not disciplining your mind to not think of the negative stuff that could happen. Like, oh, they cancel. They probably, they don't want to really meet with me. You can go down a whole big rabbit trail of all the negative things. But instead of going down that way of thinking, stay on what you want. Stay on what you want, and that is they are going to call me. I know they're going to call me, and they're going to show up. They're going to keep this date, and that's what the person did. Persisted, and it was only like an hour or two, and then they got a call back. And I've done that too. Like 2 days later, people saying they never wanted to see me again were showing up at my door because I stayed in. I just decided, no, they love me and adore me, and they're going to see me, and they. And you know what? They don't even act like anything ever happened, because I think we shift. So, they conform to what we're thinking.
Exactly. And the mental diet, like Aletha said, is the most important. So like, for instance, when I text message someone and I'm waiting for them to message me back, I think the most important parts is when I recognize that it hasn't shown up in my reality yet. And then when I realize it, I'm like, oh, they haven't messaged me back yet. And I'm like, okay, they will as soon as possible. They're going to message me back. So it's about the, what you're thinking when you notice the lack. So when you notice the lack, you want to catch yourself. And instead of going down that rabbit hole of creating all these negative things, going, oh no, they're going to message me back, no problem. And half the time when I do that, actually more than half the time, the person actually messages me like a minute later. Do you know what I mean? Like it's about trusting that it's coming. So if you are manifesting a text in, every time you notice the lack, the most important thing to do is be like, no, it's coming, and it's coming now, right? You're living from the end of it coming. Like one of the best examples I heard another coach say was, when it's like my friend, I trust that they're going to message, and I don't worry about them not messaging. You know what I mean? And we want to have that same sort of feeling with your specific person, coming from that confidence and trust that they're going to message you. Even if it's not like right now, like, if the hours are starting to like go past and, instead of going, you would never worry if it was your mother or your best friend, you'd be like, oh, they'll message me. I'm not worried about it. And you want to be in that same headspace, living from that end of confidence that, this person wants to talk with you, right?
Right. And what you're not doing when you're in that space, like the friend that for sure is going to message you or your mom or whatever, and you don't worry about it. You're in that space. There's no negative energy. There's no, you're not flipping back into like, oh, they don't like me, they must not like me, whatever it might be. And you're staying on, your attention is remaining on what it is you do want. And that's the key. And I've manifested a lot of things where I just had a thought and I didn't really give it a whole lot of energy, but it showed up because I didn't have any negative energy going against it or any negative thoughts. And I was assuming, and Neville Goddard says that if you decree something to appear in your life, it has to appear because everything has to conform or be, I forget the word he used, but basically it's conform to your thoughts. And so I tell myself in that situation where it looks like, well, what if they don't? Well, they have to conform to me. You have to conform to my thoughts. And so that gives me confidence, you know, when I'm struggling. Like, it's easy for your mom or a friend that you don't have an emotional, I'm sorry, guys, that you have an emotional connection to. But anyway, so it's better to remind yourself that you're the operating power and that they have to conform to you. It's all what you say.
Exactly. And you know what, even if you have a moment where you panic and react, okay? So like, for instance, I text messages somebody and they have the read receipt on the phone. So like when they read it, it says read, it says delivered when it's not read, and then it says read. Well, they read the message. And I guess I was just having like a day where I wasn't my confident self, and they didn't message me back like for the whole entire day. And I was like, why didn't they message me back? I'm like, are they mad at me? Did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? And I was actually in a little bit of like a panic over this for like a half the evening. And then the next day I thought about it. I looked at the message. I'm like, oh my goodness, they read it and they haven't messaged me back. And then all of a sudden I was like, Amanda, you know what? Everyone has you pushed out. Like, seriously, like, get on it. And then I said to myself, I'm like, no, you know what? They're totally fine. They probably just read the message, got busy, forgot to reply. And then sure enough, after I said that, I was like doing something and got distracted. And all of a sudden they messaged me and said, oh, sorry, I saw this yesterday, got distracted, forgot to reply. And I was like, of course. So you can never mess anything up. It's never too late to go back on to what you want, because it's not like once I was reacting thinking this person was mad at me, that's it. It can't change. It can change just as quickly as I shift into a different feeling. Do you know what I mean? And then they shift immediately as well, right?
Right. Yeah. And actually I've done that. And recently where I was assuming that it was going to work out what I wanted. And then I had some negative thoughts. And then I go, no, everything is being pushed out and they're going to call me. And a couple minutes later, the phone rang and guess who was on the other end? You know, so it was instant, basically, you know, within seconds. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this stuff works so well. If you really give it your attention and understand how the process is.
Exactly. And I think one of the biggest things is the trust and confidence that your thoughts create. So, you know, I've said it a million times and I'll say it a million more. Okay. Create a little list of tiny manifestations that prove to you everyone is you pushed out, whether it be someone buying you a coffee, someone saying something like, you know, I can't tell you how many times I'm sitting on the couch watching TV with Andrew and I think of something and then he says it. And in that moment, I'm like, why do I worry about anything? So create those little moments for yourself to build your trust in your belief, because, you know, when you put out an intention, an affirmation, a thought that you want, but then it's got this like overhang of worry and doubt with it, you're just blocking it. Okay. You want to be confident in, you know, and you want to trust. You have to have faith that your intentions are going to show up. Right. So, you know, get yourself in that space every morning. Remind yourself how powerful you are. Manifest in more than one area of your life. I can't tell you how important that is, because when you're manifesting and things are working out in some areas, not other areas, you're going to be able to go, okay, why is it working out in this area so well, but not this area? Well, that area I'm confident and I believe it's going to work. And this area, hey, wait a minute, you know, I've got doubts, right? So,
yeah. Neville says that the world is at your command because everything is you pushed out. What you're saying is so true, because it has to respond to us, and it can either respond negatively, but we can catch ourselves and instantly have a change and stay. I think I notice a lot with my clients and even myself at times, it's really hard sometimes to stay on the new story or stay on what we do want, but it's a matter of mind disciplining us, you know, disciplining minds, just pulling ourselves back every time we drift away and understanding that everything's being pushed out, and that, and I like that phrase, the world is at my command, you know, they have
I love it too. Oh, I love it.
you know. And if you do all those things you were saying with like the little things, the list, that is so great. You know, I do that, and you see these things popping up, you know, and it's like, oh my gosh, because it is, the world is at our command. It really is. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, sometimes it's that little reminder that we need, you know, to build the confidence to get us through those rough patches, right? Like, you know, I mean, I'll have days where, you know, I'm panicking over nothing. And like I said, Andrew will say something, somebody will phone, or I was thinking about someone and they'll text me, and I'm like, okay, you know, why do I even worry about this? I find it also helps me as well to like try to figure out how I've manifested things, right? Like that's what I used to do when I first started, because, you know, it was like a lot of things would show up and they weren't quite what I intended, but they did. And that's a whole other video topic, but it helped me to accept that I do create everything in my reality and kind of go, oh, wow, you know what? I was thinking about this the other day and it showed up like that. Oh, okay, I get it, you know, but to take responsibility for everything that shows up and to go, wow, you know what? This is really magical. This is absolutely magical. Everything is my creation. Everything is a projection of my subconscious mind. I always tell myself, I'm like, none of this is real. Like,
Yeah,
you're creating it all.
Yeah. And another thing that Neville says is we live in an imaginal world, you know, and it's like all up to what we assume and imagine ourselves being, and taking responsibility for that. And if we don't like it, then change it, because we can.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, guys, live from the end with every thought that you have when you're manifesting something. To manifest the text, think of the person, intend they're going to text you. You know, you could even go as far as like, you know, having an inner conversation about what you're going to talk about. I know some people even send a text to themselves pretending it's from the person. That's always helps to get things going in your reality. But the most important thing is to have the story that the person wants to text you, they're going to text you, and to keep the faith and trust that it's going to happen, even when you see the lack in your 3D reality, which is keeping your mental diet. So
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Aletha.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And I intend everybody that watches this, manifest the text from their specific person. I really do. And comment if you do. I'm like, I would love to hear that. I mean, I'd love to hear all these great little successes. So guys, thank you for sharing. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.